All right, this is the second black vehicle that I have here for a detail this year. The first one was a 2020 Explorer that I repainted the whole vehicle. That was a lease return. And this one is just a buddy of mine. I just came back for a detail. I did paint this fender and this bumper here. I have a video posted on it. This was all destroyed and mangled at the bottom. The whole front, this was all destroyed. The fender was all ripped up. And this is what I get. Now, I'm not a fan of Armor All. I try to shoot Armor All as far away from my garage and my house as far as possible, but this is what I get. This is how clean my paint jobs come out in my garage without wet sand and buff. And I'll prove it to you. This isn't wet sand and buffed. See, got a little speck of dirt there. I know there's something else somewhere. Right there, got a little speck. There's another speck there. So if this would have been wet sand and buff, I wouldn't be leaving stuff here like that. This is what I got straight out of my garage. And if you look at it, is it shinier than the... You can see this is the stock orange peel, the factory orange peel on the paint job. And look, I have less orange peel than what comes on these vehicles out the factory, okay? So I don't need no fish eyes and stuff here ruining my game. But I sprayed Armor All here because it's part of what a full detail is, and I honestly don't like to do it. I even close my garage door if I can help it. But the way I do this is I just wash this car like you would wash any other car with degreaser and a pressure washer if you got one. And I go over it with the clay bar because all that industrial fallout, all that stuff that's etched onto the paint, the buffer with the wool pad and compound doesn't get that out. You're gonna waste so much compound trying to get that out versus the clay bar takes it off immediately. So I do that, and it's much less time and effort with rubbing compound and using your material to do it. The only thing that's taken away from this are these little chips. It's got some paint damage on here. And for the price that I'm doing this at, I already undersold this job by $120. Plus I wet sanded and buffed his headlights. They come out so clean that you wouldn't even believe me if I told you I wet sand and buffed these, and you probably wouldn't even think they were that bad to begin with. But I don't know if there's an area on here I can show you how faded and yellow they were. That doesn't justify it. That ain't gonna justify it, but this is about the detail. This is about the detail right now. So this is my compound out here. This is what I use. I got a wool pad, got my gray foam pad for the solar mark remover, and the there it is, solar mark remover, which is number 2, and I use oh, these are both number 2s. So I got my compound. I compounded it yesterday, so my compound's in the garage. But the number 1's with the wool pad, number 2's with that. And I do not pressure wash my vehicles after I go over it with the compound. You know, I compound it, I wipe it down, and I go over it with the solar mark remover. I don't wash my car because all the dust from the rubbing compound that gets up in your jams and it gets in here and all that stuff, okay? All that does is it runs. You wet it and it becomes soluble, and it runs and it gets all over your tires, and it gets on the plastic. It gets on the plastic here, and it gets stuck up inside here, and then it dries into a hard paste, and then nothing gets it out. Plus it runs into areas that you can't even access. You'll have all that white rubbing compound stuck in here. That's not what that is, by the way. That's just no paint. There's just paint missing there. That's the way the factory does their work. But you'll have all that stuff on here and stuck in here. You'll never get that out. Especially in here is the worst. Especially you have like a foam. You have a piece of foam, that'll turn white. And then it'll just, it's ugly. So what I do, I just use my blower. I use my high air pressure blower. And I blow all my dust, all that out of here. And I have 2 microfiber cloths. One damp one that I use, put it in here, and I wipe all that stuff off. And then my door jambs, that's my dirty one. All that stuff. And then I have another one that's clean that I don't use in my door jambs. I just have a clean one to wipe the surface. That way I don't cross-contaminate all the dirt and stuff that I'm probably going to pick up at the compound and scratch the outside. Especially, you're going to have rubbing compound in the door jambs, and you have dust from the soil and mark remover. And after you do the car with the soil and mark remover, and you're collecting rubbing compound from the inside and you put it on the outside, you're going to scratch the paint because rubbing compound is more coarse than the gray compound for the soil and mark remover. I wish I would have done a video show you guys how nasty this was, man. This was horrible. You wouldn't even know this was black. Look at this. You would, man, there was beach sand in here and broken glass. I even found a social security card and an ID in there. That's how messy it was. You wouldn't even believe me, man. And this can still get done better, but for the price that I gave him, I'm not gonna start just throwing numbers out there, but I will tell you, I charged him $120 less than what I should have charged him. Not just what I charged people, but what I should have charged him for this job. This here, if I have to come out and start using other solvents and other materials to clean this stuff rather than what I have at hand, I'm working too hard and I'm not charging enough for it. Okay? But I'm not gonna come here and start touching up. All this stuff here, this is touch-up stuff, you know? That has nothing to do with any of that, you know? So when people come and say, what's that? It's not so much what it is as it is, what do you want me to do about it? You know, it's more like, what can you do about this? Not what is it? You know, a professional detail job doesn't mean, can I put this? It means you'll virtually get a brand new car, restoring the conditions back to its optimal potential. But it doesn't mean, you know, the technician is going to cross lines and go beyond what a detail is supposed to be, unless it's discussing the price, or unless the customer later is like, hey man, this looks really nice, man. I had no idea my car could look this good. Is there anything we can do about the touch-ups? Can you touch that up? How much you charge me to touch it up, and, you know, so it looks nicer? You know, that makes a little more sense. But what I like to do, I like to get into the nitty-gritty, man. When I do my detail work, I like to get into this, like, I'm seeing this now and this bothers me. I'm like, ugh. You know, I get a dry paintbrush. I get all in there with a dry paintbrush. All these grooves and my high air pressure blower blowing everything off, get all in here. I even get a Bondo spreader and I wrap a microfiber around it and I stick it in here and I get that out and I come with the air blower and I blow all that stuff out. What I usually clean with is diluted 409 in a spray bottle, and I use a scrub brush and I scrub all this crap. I scrub it. I even took off the rubber stuff that goes in here. Look at this. So this rubber thing comes out. See if I can get it out with my hands. I even clean under here too. Take the rubber out. I clean all under there, even inside the cigarette lighter thing. Scrub all that stuff off, blow it off, wipe it. I take these out. This is all Armor All at this point. I take this out and I scrub it with dish soap and water in a bucket and I put it in so everything is clean. Through and through. These things, come on man, half you people watching is, you know, you have soda and french fries and cat hair stuck to this stuff and cough drop wrappings and band-aids under your seats. Come on man, you know how it is. Gotta wear gloves and use a respirator when I get dirty in here. You know, half the dirt that's in these cars and I'm done cleaning them, the dirt's on me. I've even like gotten dirt from these vehicles inside my pockets. What is this? That's a stain. You want upholstery steam cleaning and stuff? That's additional. Honestly, if I was to put a price and do everything that I could visually see that needs work, this can turn into a $500 job. And somebody be like, I don't see who's gonna pay $500 to clean a car, basically. But you're talking the difference between restoring a vehicle and fixing how many things are wrong with it versus having to paint something. If you have enough scratches and chips on the door and wet sanding and buffing the scratches ain't gonna get it out, and then you have to paint it. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it does come out. Look. This could still be cleaner. Look, I could still get in here. I could still come in here more. Look at that. Yep, look. I could still come in here more. I've been working on this car 3 days. 8.5, 9 hours a day for 3 days. And I had to stop. I had to stop somewhere. I even had my stepson help me. And he did what I told him to do. He came in here and he cleaned it, but it could be cleaner. When we came to Armor All, we could have come in here and Armor All in here and done even better. That's how I clean. To get this as clean as possible, I would just take this rubber off. I would just take it off and scrub it inside of a bucket of water, and but you gotta draw the limit somewhere. And here, I took these off to clean them. I stuck a Bondo spreader in here, and I couldn't get it out in the air blower. I had to pop this out with a flat head. I took all of these out so I could clean underneath it and put them back in. Underneath here, look, can I take this off? Let me show you. I took all these off. Look, and I'm seeing that it's dirty now. That's not acceptable. Where's my Armor All rag? It's my Armor All rag. I'm over here doing a video. I'm trying to show you something, and I'm looking stupid. I had to get my stepson to help me get things done on here because I was running thin, man. This job turned out to be bigger than what I was expecting it to be. And this isn't what he does for a living. I can't take it out on him. He does what I told him to do the way I told him to do it, but I also have to come and check his work. If I don't check his work, So this is how I like to work. Clean everything through and through. I don't just like to clean what the eye can see. I like to go past that. If I had my air blower with me right now, I could get this damn piece of grass out of here. There we go. Because when a customer comes to get their vehicle, I don't want them saying, what's this? What's that? Can you fix that? No, I want them to be like, damn, yo, how many times a year should I do this? I want to bring it back. When should I bring it back to keep it like this? But I don't want them to see and be like, okay, so we cleaned it a little bit better than what I can do. No, I want them to be like, shit. That's what I want to hear. What I do, I don't have to clean this 100%, but at least 99%. So when a client comes to get their car and he's looking at it, I'm going to tell them, I don't want you to just think it's clean because you're seeing that it's clean. I want you to know where your money went. I want to be able to do this and say, listen, this is how I clean. You see? This is what I want to show them. Because not everybody's going to have the time and the audacity to take it to that extent when they clean their car. And if they did, after doing one side of a door and then the other side, you're gonna get tired, man. People got things to do, in life. There. See? So when he comes to get his car, I'm gonna say, look, this is how I clean. Come back, bring it in 6 or 8 months. And I'll do it again and I'll give you a break because it won't be as dirty. That's how I do it. Oh, I don't want to get Armor All on this door handle. But you get the point. I still have to scan this car. It's got a couple codes. I'm just gonna scan it, see what it is. You should be here any minute. Should be here any minute, but just wanted to share this and how I get down with these details. Maybe give some people watching this some incentive. So I'm gonna stop here. I got a couple more things to do. And also, when you wash and degrease all this stuff, scrub all this crap. Scrub it all, degrease it. If you got to pressure wash it, more power, man. Get all that stuff and armor all this. It really makes the car look cleaner, because as soon as you see dirt, as soon as you see any dirt, the detail stops right there. All the magic, all the beauty is like, wow, this is clean. As soon as you see some dirt, it stops right there. That's where the magic stops. But if the cleanness just goes on and on, if the clean work just goes on and on and on, it's like, damn, how far does this detail go? As far as the eye can see and beyond. This is cleaner. This is more clean than the eye can see. That's how it should be. All right, man. This is 15 minutes already. That's long enough. It's long enough. It's long enough. All right, take care. If you found this interesting or useful, hit the like button. I'll see you guys later.